The mattress on my bed frame is 25 years old this spring. A Sealy Posturepedic bought in the year 2000, and it still sleeps like the day it came off the delivery truck. No sag in the middle, no smell, no sinking hole where a body has laid for a quarter of a century. And I have never once flipped it onto a landfill pile the way the mattress stores want me to every 8 years. The trick that kept it alive costs me almost nothing, and I do it every single season, 4 times a year, the same way my mother did on the same brass bed I was born in. Here is the part that might bother some people. The mattress industry has spent 60 years teaching you that a bed wears out in 7 or 8 years and needs replacing. That is not because the mattress falls apart. It is because there is no money in a mattress you keep for 25 years. A bed that lasts a lifetime is a customer they only get once. So they sell you the idea that yours is worn out, dirty, full of things you would rather not think about, and the only answer is to hand over $1,000 and start again. My mother called that a racket, and she was right about most things. Today I am going to walk you through the whole seasonal cleaning method that has kept my mattress like new for 25 years, along with the small tricks around it that the bedding companies would rather you never learn. Stay until the end, because the last one is the single habit that does more than all the rest combined, and almost nobody does it. None of this is complicated. None of it costs more than a few dollars, and every bit of it comes from a generation that knew how to make a good thing last, back when a mattress was meant to be handed down, not hauled off. If you find value in the old ways of doing things, go ahead and subscribe and turn on the notification bell so these keep finding you. Let me start with why a mattress really goes bad, because once you understand this, everything else makes sense. A mattress does not wear out from sleeping on it. The springs inside a good bed are built to flex millions of times before they ever tire. What actually destroys a mattress is 3 things working quietly underneath you every night. The first is moisture. A sleeping body gives off close to a pint of water in a single night through breath and sweat. That moisture sinks down into the layers, and it does not leave on its own. It settles in night after night until the padding is damp to the core. The second is dust and dead skin, which builds up and feeds the tiny mites that live in every bed on earth, mites you will never see and never feel. And the third is uneven pressure, the same part of the mattress carrying the same weight in the same spot for years, until the padding gives out right there and nowhere else. Fix those 3 things on a regular schedule, and a mattress simply does not age the way they tell you it will. My mother understood this without any of the science. She just called it letting the bed breathe. Every change of season, when the weather turned, she stripped that brass bed down to the bare mattress and gave it a full day of care. Spring, summer, fall, and winter. 4 times a year, like clockwork, the same week she turned the garden and put up the preserves. I have done the same on this Sealy since the day I bought it, and here is exactly what that looks like. The first step is the one everybody skips, and it is the reason most mattresses smell faintly of something after a few years, even when they look perfectly clean. You strip the bed completely, every sheet, every pad, every cover, down to the bare surface. Then you take a box of plain baking soda, the same yellow box that sits in most kitchens, and you sift it across the entire top of the mattress in a thin, even layer. Not a pile, just a dusting, the way you would flour a cake pan before the batter goes in. Baking soda pulls moisture up out of the padding, and it neutralizes odor at the same time. It does not cover a smell the way a spray from the store does. A spray just lays perfume on top of the problem. The baking soda draws the smell out and holds onto it, and then you carry it away. Now, here's the part that matters, the part almost everyone gets wrong. You let it sit, not 5 minutes, not while you go make the coffee. You leave that baking soda on the bare mattress for a full afternoon, 4 hours at the very least, and longer is better. This is why I do it on a day I am home anyway, doing other things around the house. While it sits, it is quietly wicking a whole season of moisture up and out of the layers underneath. My mother used to lay the baking soda down first thing in the morning and not touch the bed again until after supper. The longer it draws, the more it pulls, and there is no shortcut around the waiting. If you can, and this is the next step, open the windows in the bedroom while the baking soda works and let the sun come in across the bed. Sunlight is the oldest disinfectant there is. The ultraviolet in direct sun kills dust mites and bacteria in the top layers of the mattress the same way it bleaches a white sheet on the line. A mattress that gets a few hours of sun and fresh air every season stays fresher than any chemical treatment sold in a can. In the old farmhouses, they used to drag the whole mattress right out to the porch rail on a clear day and beat it with a paddle. You do not have to go that far. Just pull the shade up and let the light do its quiet work through the glass. While the baking soda is doing its job, here's a trick worth its own mention. Take a look at the seams and the piping around the edge of the mattress, that corded edge that runs all the way around the border. That seam is where dust and skin and body oil collect the most, and it is the first place mites settle in and breed. Run a damp cloth along that piping, just plain water on the cloth, wrung out so it is barely wet, and wipe the whole edge all the way around. You will be surprised, maybe a little alarmed at what comes up on the cloth the first time you do it. Doing this seam every season is a small thing that keeps the whole bed cleaner than a single deep cleaning once a decade ever could. We are only getting started and the tricks get better from here. Because keeping a mattress like new is not one thing. It is a handful of small habits stacked one on top of the other, each one making the next one work better. After the baking soda has sat for its 4 hours or more, you vacuum it all back up. And you do not just run the vacuum across the top in a hurry the way you would sweep a floor before company comes. You use the upholstery attachment, the flat wide one, and you go slow, overlapping each pass the way you would mow a lawn, so no strip gets missed. Slow passes pull the baking soda back up, and it brings the loosened dust and dead skin and mite debris with it up and out of the top layer of padding. Fast passes just skate over the surface and leave most of it behind. This one step alone, done 4 times a year, removes more from a mattress than anything the average person ever does to their bed in its whole life. Take your time with it. Do the sides too, not just the top. The next trick is about pressure, and it is the one that keeps the shape. Every season, when you have the bed stripped bare anyway, you rotate the mattress. That means you turn it a half turn so the head end is now down at the foot. This spreads the wear evenly across the whole surface, instead of letting one spot carry the same weight in the same place night after night for years on end. And if your mattress is the old double-sided kind, the kind with springs and padding built proper on both faces, you flip it over as well, top to bottom, so the underside gets its turn on top and the side you have been sleeping on gets a rest. Now, here is something the industry did that most people never noticed. Somewhere in the last 20 or 30 years, the manufacturers started building most mattresses one-sided with all the good padding on top and a plain hard bottom you cannot sleep on at all. They called it no flip, and they dressed it up and sold it to you as a convenience, as if they were doing you a favor. What it really did was cut the usable life of the mattress clean in half, because now the wear has nowhere to go but into that one single surface. My Sealy from the year 2000 is a true two-sided mattress, and rotating and flipping it on the seasons is a big part of why it has lasted a quarter of a century. If yours is one-sided, you cannot flip it, but you can and you absolutely should still rotate it head to foot every single season. That one thing alone makes a real difference, you will feel within a year. We are about halfway through, and this next one is the trick that protects everything else you have just done. So pay close attention here. The single most important thing you can put on a mattress is a barrier between your body and the bed. And I do not mean a fitted sheet, because a sheet does nothing to stop what soaks through. I mean a proper mattress protector, the kind that seals the whole top surface. Here is the honest math on this, plain and simple. A good protector runs $20 or $30 and lasts for years. A new mattress runs $800, $1,000, more than that now. That protector is the cheapest insurance you will ever buy in your life. It stops the sweat, the spills, the oils from your skin, all of it, from ever reaching the mattress itself. Every stain a mattress salesman points to as proof your bed is worn out and done is a stain, that a $20 cover would have stopped cold before it ever started. My mother used a heavy quilted cotton pad and washed it right along with the sheets every single week. Today you can buy a thin cover that you barely feel underneath you, and it does the job even better than her old pad did. Wash it on the same schedule as your sheets, and the mattress underneath stays as clean as the day it first arrived at the door. This is the quiet reason a 25-year-old bed can still look and smell brand new. The mattress itself was never once touched. Here is a small one that saves a stain from ever setting in the first place. When something does spill on a bare mattress, and it happens to every single one of us sooner or later, you never rub it and you never soak it. You blot. Press a dry towel down hard and lift it straight back up again and again, pulling the liquid up out of the padding instead of grinding it deeper in. Then, for anything that leaves a mark behind, you mix a spoonful of plain dish soap into a bowl of cool water, dab it on gently with a cloth, blot it dry, and let the whole spot air out fully before you ever make that bed again. A mattress that never once gets soaked through is a mattress that never grows the mildew that ruins a bed from the inside out where you cannot see it coming. While we are on the subject of moisture, here is one most people get completely wrong without even knowing it. The mattress needs to breathe from underneath just as much as it does from the top. If your bed sits on a solid platform with no gap at all, or worse, flat on the floor, the moisture that sinks down through the mattress has nowhere on earth to go, and it collects and pools against the bottom. That is exactly where you find dampness and dark mildew on a bed that looked perfectly fine on top. A slatted frame with real space for air to move underneath lets the whole mattress dry out between nights. In the old days, every bed sat up high on a spring box on an iron frame with plenty of open air below it, and there was a good reason they built them that way. If your mattress sits on something solid right now, stand it up on its side for an hour on cleaning day and let that underside air out completely. Here is another that costs nothing at all and does more than most people would ever expect. Once a year, on one of your seasonal cleanings, take the whole mattress right off the bed and lean it up standing against a wall in the sun or by an open window and just leave it there for a few hours while you do other things. A full airing of both sides, top and bottom at once, drives out the deep moisture that a surface cleaning alone can never reach down to. This is the closest thing you can do at home to what the old farmhouses did when they hauled the whole mattress out to the porch every spring. It resets the entire bed right down to the core. I do this every spring without fail, and it is the difference between a mattress that stays dry to its heart and one that slowly holds more and more moisture with each passing year until it starts to feel heavy and sleeps warm and close. And here is a trick for the smell. If a mattress has picked one up over the years, the way old beds sometimes do. Along with the baking soda, you can grind a little dried lavender fine or work a few drops of an essential oil into the baking soda before you ever sift it on. It does two good things at once. The scent works down into the padding as the soda pulls the moisture up, and lavender in particular is one that mites and moths simply do not care for and will keep away from. My mother kept little sachets of it tucked up under the mattress at each of the four corners, and that bed always smelled faintly, cleanly of it. A clean bed does not need to be drowned in perfume from a bottle. It just needs the old stale smell drawn out and a light, clean one left quietly behind. Let me give you one more before the big one, because this is the daily habit that surrounds and supports everything else I have told you. Every single morning before you make the bed, you pull the covers all the way back, and you let that bed sit open and bare for at least half an hour. Do not make the bed the very moment you stand up out of it, no matter how tidy you like to be. When you throw the covers over a warm bed first thing, you seal all of last night's moisture and body heat down into the mattress, and you hand the mites exactly the damp, warm, dark little world they love to breed in. Pull the covers back instead. Let the whole bed air out and cool down while you have your coffee and start your day, and only make it once it has fully dried. This one small change in the order of your morning does more for the long life of a mattress than most people would ever believe, and it does not cost you a thing or add a single minute to your day. Now, here is the last one, and it is the single habit that does more than all the rest of them put together, the one almost nobody actually does. Everything I have told you today only works because it is done on a schedule and kept to faithfully. Not once, when you finally get around to it. Not only when the bed finally smells or starts to sag in the middle. Every season, 4 times a year, the same steady way you change the clocks or swap the summer clothes out for winter. The real reason my mattress is 25 years old and still like new is not any one clever trick on this whole list. It is that I have done every one of them in order, 4 times a year, for 25 years, without ever once skipping a season. The people who buy a brand new mattress every 8 years are not sleeping on worse beds than mine ever was. They are sleeping on beds that were simply never cared for a single day in their lives. Set yourself a reminder for the first day of each season. Strip the bed down bare and give it the whole afternoon. That one faithful habit kept year after year is worth more than any mattress money could ever buy you. That brass bed my mother cared for so faithfully outlived her by years, and it was still sound and true when it finally passed on to the next hands that needed it. She used to say a bed will take care of you for a lifetime if you only take care of it 4 times a year, And after 25 years on the very same mattress, I know now that she was right. None of this is a secret anybody was hiding in a vault. It is just the old patient way of making a good thing last, back before we were all taught to throw everything away and go buy it new again. If this changed how you think about the bed you sleep on every single night, leave a like so more people find their way to it, and subscribe with the bell turned on for more of the old ways worth keeping alive. I will see you in the next one.